I want to bring in Sanju Verma. I believe we finally have her. Sanju, congratulations. Emphatic win when it comes down to Tripura. Quite attuned to what our exit polls were. You didn't quite agree. The Tripura vota has bang on come to the same point of what our exit polls predicted. But having said that, it's a good day at the hustings for the Bharatiya Janata Party. You've done phenomenally well in Tripura, held on to your vote base. In Meghalaya, even with 3 seats, you're going to be part of governance. Similarly, in Nagaland as well.
You know, Preeti, thank you so much. And congratulations to, your team for getting the exit polls bang on target. I have to say this, I'm not going to today bicker about XYZ because to be very honest, Congress has ceased to be a party that matters in any electoral equation. Point number one. Point number two, I think more than anything else, the Northeast election results today categorically, reflect the fact that the Modi magic works and how. Point number three, Prime Minister Modi in the last 8.5, 9 odd years has visited Northeast more than all the Prime Ministers put together in post-independent India in the last 70 or 75 odd years. Point number four, when you look at the Northeast, you can't look at just Assam or Meghalaya or Nagaland in isolation. You have to look at Northeast as a block. And I'm sure Rahul Srivastava, your colleague, who, knows more about politics than so many of us, he will agree that be it the NLFP agreement with, Tripura and Mizoram in August 2019, be it the Brew Accord in January 2020, be it the Bodo Peace Accord in January 2020, be it the Karbi-Anglong Accord, be it the fact that more than 60% of the earlier areas which were categorized as disturbed areas are now out of the purview and ambit of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. I think these are things that have connected with the overall cadre on ground. And look at Nagaland, Preeti. More than 75% of the population is Christian and more than 90% are tribal. And this is a stinging slap on the face of those who said, oh, BJP is a party which can only win elections in the Hindi heartland. Well, there you have Nagaland tells you a story that when the Prime Minister talks of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, this is not a jumla, this is not platitude, these are not mere slogans. But
Sanju Verma, you made your point, it's emphatic. But when we come down to Jumla and platitudes, we're going to talk about something else and how the politics played out in Meghalaya. But you made a point and it's relevant, and I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava on it. Rahul, the fact is, the fact that you have the Prime Minister, and I've actually gone through both figures. The Northeast, he's visited the Northeast cumulative of all the Prime Ministers that we've had ever in his term. On the other hand, let's look at Tripura alone. The Prime Ministers visited Tripura, then say the UPA did from 2004 to 2014. The Prime Minister has done it twice as over, even more than that. So somewhere down the line, it seems that, this look east approach of the BJP has worked, blurring possibly, the proverbial far east to the mainland divide.
Absolutely. I think that is one reason. If you see that the governments in the past did have support from players in the Northeast, when the Congress, of course, was there, the fact remains that it is the BJP has looked into Northeast as a very different kind of an electoral territory and also an administrative territory. The kind of infrastructure development which is on now in, say, an Arunachal Pradesh, even in Assam and other places, the BJP has somebody like Hemant Biswa Sarma managing those Northeast states for them. The Congress and others never had that kind of formula, like having an unit there in Assam to look after the Northeastern states. I think that involvement of the Prime Minister and the presence, you see, it's when somebody talks about Meghalaya and Tripura and Nagaland, we are talking about tribes, we are talking about tribal vote, and we are talking about Christians. And the BJP, if you realize, is in an alliance with players in Nagaland, will be with NDPP in Meghalaya, a party which is not supposed to have a very positive strong footprint among the minorities in rest of the country. But still, with strategic alliances, the party is managing to convince the
Okay.
voters